Hi everyone, welcome back to LilyTube. I'm Jeff Teichert.
And I'm Cathy Teichert. We are relationship coaches, and today we are diving into the complexities of divorce as seen through the lens of the 1995 movie, Bye Bye Love.
Three divorced men trying to navigate fatherhood, dating, and post-divorce life. Each man reflects different ways people cope with the aftermath of a marriage ending. And parenthetically, let me say too, that I watched this movie probably 100 times when I was going through my divorce because it was a humorous look at a man's perspective on divorce, and it allowed me to laugh about my own feelings and circumstances.
And we'll also be highlighting the Bye Bye Love music, the Everly Brothers song that inspired the film's title. And here are the lyrics. Bye bye love. Bye bye happiness. Hello loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love. Bye bye sweet caress. Hello emptiness. I feel like I could die. Let's explore the emotional roller coaster from a man's perspective.
Let's introduce the three main characters, Dave, Donnie, and Vic.
Dave, played by Matthew Modine, is an involved dad who's great with kids but struggles with fidelity and relationships. He wants to embrace the single dad, bachelor lifestyle, but his choices often backfire.
Then there's Donnie, played by Paul Reiser. Donnie is the quintessential too nice guy. He's stuck pining after his ex-wife Claire and bending over backward to accommodate her. He's so hurt by the divorce that he just can't seem to move on.
And finally, we have Vic, played by Randy Quaid. Vic's bitterness defines him. He's angry about child support, and he feels like life has been unfair. He tries to move forward, but struggles to let go of past hurts.
Let's start with Dave. Now, on the surface, he seems like he's got it all figured out. He's a devoted dad, but his romantic life is a total mess. He's unfaithful. He lacks respect for women, which ultimately sabotages his relationships. Typically, this is how it turns out.
Are you on medication or something?
No! Ooh, relating.
You remember at the beginning of the movie when he says about the girl he's dating, I love Kim, I'm barely seeing anybody else. Well, barely seeing anybody else is seeing anybody else.
Dave's story highlights the common trap of thinking that being a good parent is enough to heal the wounds of divorce.
Do you remember late in the movie where Donnie says to Dave, your divorce is better than most people's marriages? But even he knows that's kind of a deflection.
You know, it's interesting when Dave asks, why can they do it and I can't? What do they know that I don't? This self-reflection is crucial, but Dave seems to be unwilling to see himself clearly and make the necessary changes that are holding him back.
The biggest takeaway from Dave's experience is you can't truly move on until you've taken responsibility for your own choices.
So Donnie's story is heartbreaking in a different way. He's so nice, but it's to a fault. His ex-wife Claire has moved on, but he can't let it go.
She's been married, what, like 3 years?
He's still even voluntarily giving her spousal support and consistently bending over backward for her and overriding what is best for him.
Donnie's pain is palpable. His daughter Emma even says she hates him, which hurts him deeply. But what's striking is his inability to set any boundaries. His famous line, it's only been 3 years. If I start dating, it might upset Claire, which reveals how much he's stuck in the past.
This is deeply, deeply terrifying.
Do you remember that moment in the treehouse where Donnie's talking to his daughter and he finally admits to her and to himself that he and her mother, Claire, will never be back together again? And that's when he finally starts to heal.
Yeah, Cathy, the lesson there is how vitally important it is to accept that your previous relationship is over and adapt to that new reality, even if you didn't choose it, and maybe especially if you didn't choose it. That other person has made that choice, and moving on requires inner strength and assertiveness. Being a nice guy like Donnie isn't enough. You have to be kind to yourself too, and settle into the new reality and make it beautiful. Now let's talk about Vic. He's probably the funniest character, but he's bitter and angry and constantly venting about child support and his ex-wife. He even calls her car the child support mobile.
Vic's frustration is relatable, but his anger keeps him stuck. He has moments of clarity, like when he tells his friends, just love your kids and keep going. But his bitterness often overshadows these insights.
When Lucille criticizes him for how he handles co-parenting, it's clear he's still living in the shadow of his divorce. His inability to adapt is his biggest obstacle.
His rage leads him to do outrageous things, like putting Dr. Townsend in a chokehold on live radio and busting up the deck he built for his ex-wife so she couldn't continue using it with her new man.
Renovating. Uh-oh.
Vic says, I don't think that Gerald should be allowed outside on the porch because it's his porch. He nailed it, he built it. He doesn't think it's fair that now someone else is enjoying the fruits of his labor. Now, I personally think that every divorced man at moments has thoughts of doing similar things. Thankfully, most of us didn't follow through with that kind of destructive impulse. But Vic's journey shows us that while anger is a natural part of healing, it can't be your permanent address. You don't want to stay stuck there. One thing this movie really nails is how divorce can make you feel like you're either seeing it everywhere or you're completely isolated and alone. For these three men, their pain shows up in different ways, but it's all rooted in the loss that they feel.
Dr. Townsend, the fictional talk show host in the film, calls Vic a divorce survivor, victim, and hero. That line resonates because it reminds us that healing is a journey. You can't stay a victim forever. Eventually, you have to move into that hero phase.
And as coaches, we see this kind of thing all the time. Whether you're like Dave and you're kind of sport dating, or Donnie, you're kind of still crying over your divorce, or Vic, the key is to focus on growth and greater self-awareness. No one has a perfect divorce. And Vic makes that clear when he gets mad at Dr. Townsend. You act like if we all just listen to you, this all gets better. And he says, it doesn't get better. It's never over. It never ends. I love those words because that is kind of how divorce is, especially when you're raising kids. But as Susan, Dave's former wife, says kind of wisely, this isn't easy for any of us.
So what can we learn from these three men? Dave reminds us that respect in relationships is non-negotiable. Donnie teaches us the importance of being assertive and finding inner strength. And Vic shows us that anger, while it could be valid, cannot be your only coping mechanism.
I got a lot of compassion for where you are. Divorce is never easy, but it doesn't have to define you. As Vic says toward the end of the picture, just love your kids and keep going. And he's portrayed as a pretty great dad, even though he's angry at his ex-wife. But that's great advice for anyone navigating this challenging phase of life.
Remember that healing takes time, whether you're a Dave, a Donnie, or a Vic.
And I was a little bit of all three.
The first step is self-awareness, combined with self-compassion and a commitment to ultimately take the experience you have had with your divorce and become better rather than bitter.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to LilyTube for more relationship insights. And let us know in the comments which character's journey most resonates with you. If you're like me, you had some of each.
Until next time, remember that any time, especially post-divorce, is a good time for more love in your life.
This video is sponsored by New Calm, an app that will support you in living your best life. Feeling stressed? No matter what your day throws at you, in just a few minutes you can feel recharged, centered, and ready to go. Try it for yourself and feel the difference. Click on the link in our video description.
Thanks for joining us for another week on LilyTube. If you enjoy what you see, support us by liking, commenting, and sharing your favorite videos with others who could benefit.
As single life and relationship coaches, our mission is to help single adults intentionally heal from loss to create a happy life and healthy relationships. Keep coming back and we'll keep you encouraged. Each week, we provide new and refreshing perspectives on the challenges and opportunities of mid-single life.
If you'd like to immerse yourself deeper into your own personal development and relationship journey, visit our website at loveinlateryears.com for even more resources. Don't take on divorce recovery and other relationship loss and single life alone. We are here for you.